Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to your EVS 1 class. So today we are continuing with the chapter Water Storage and Quality. So in our previous classes we have already covered the topics, that is water storage and water purification method. So today what are we going to do? We are going to do about water pollution. We are going to know about water pollution. What is water pollution? How it is caused and what are its effects? So, what is water pollution, children? The addition of harmful substances to the water is called water pollution. Whenever we have, now what does the word pollution mean? The word pollution itself means that whenever we have some unwanted substances, that unwanted substances, they are known as pollution. So, if we have unwanted substances in our air or our food, it is known as pollution, air pollution. If we don't want to hear something but we are continuously forced to hear that, the unwanted substances, we don't want noise, but someone is playing a very loud music and we are forced to hear that. That is what? Sound pollution. Similarly, whenever harmful substances, unwanted substances are added into the water, it is known as water pollution. Next, what are the causes of water pollution? So before we understand what are the effects of water pollution, it is very, very important that we know what are the causes of water pollution. So what are the causes of water pollution? First and foremost, we are having the factory wastes. Now, if you see, children, what happens, you will see that most of the factories are located in areas which are in village areas or near about the outskirts of any city. Why? They generally, you must have seen, or if you ask your parents also, you will know that the factories, generally they set up the factories near water bodies. Okay, near water bodies where they have an easy access for water, because most of the factories need a huge amount of water. Not only do we need water for agriculture, but we also need water in the factories. So they are generally, moreover, they are located in areas where there is some water body. And also one of the major thing is that whatever waste, whenever the factory produces something, whenever something is manufactured, okay, you all write in your copies, right? You all write in your copies, you all write with pencil, and whenever you make a mistake, what do? You rub it, you erase it with your eraser. Now when you erase with your eraser, some wastes come, those black erased part, right? That is also waste. So whenever something is done, some amount, whether the wastes are less or more, but the wastes do come out. Some wastes are very, very harmful, some wastes are not that harmful. So in the factories, what happen? Chemicals are used, then different kinds of oil, grease, chemicals are used to manufacture any product that they are trying to manufacture. They use different kinds of chemicals. Now once it is done, the leftover, the waste materials, what do they do to the waste materials? Do they keep it in the factory itself? No, most of the times they release it into the nearby water body through big pipes, just like you can see in the picture here. Through big pipes, they release all the waste into the water body that is nearby. So, and the waste contains a lot of chemicals. Now you have seen the waste of after we erase it. It contains the eraser, the black eraser part, isn't it? So if you are using chemicals to make something, in the waste will also have chemicals, right? Now, do we want chemicals in our water? Obviously not. So that the chemicals are the unwanted part. The chemicals are the unwanted substances in the water. So these are one of the major cause of water pollution. Next, we have chemicals sprayed in the farm. Now for agriculture, for farming, the farmers use chemicals to save the plants from any kind of germs and bacteria. right? So that the germs and bacteria do not come and attack their plants and they can grow their crops properly. But what happens is that no doubt it saves the plants from the germs and bacteria, but what happens during the rain or when the water passes through the field, what happens? It goes and flows into the water body only, the nearby water body from where the water is being taken. So when the water flows, what happens? It carries away the chemicals from the farms to the water body again. It carries all the chemicals from the farms to the water body again. So again there is a huge input of chemicals in the water body. Yes, so that again creates a pollution. Now there are in the villages one more thing that contributes a lot, or not only in the villages, I'm sure even when you travel through by train and all, whenever you pass a nearby water body, when you pass a water body, I'm sure you must have seen people washing their clothes, or I'm sure you must have seen near the water bodies clothes are given to dry. That is something I'm sure you have seen. Now why will someone, now can you tell me, we all wash the clothes, right? Your parents wash the clothes at home. Do they go and dry it near the water body? We all have the mighty Brahmaputra in our city. Yes, we all have the mighty Brahmaputra in our city. Do after washing our clothes at home, do we go near the do we go to Brahmaputra to dry our clothes over there? We don't. We go to the terrace or we go to the open space near and we put our clothes there to dry. Similarly, the people in the outskirts or especially in the villages, what they do is they go to the water body that is there, and that can be a lake, that can be a pond, that can be a river, any kind of water body. Villages are generally, you will see villages situated near water bodies only. So they go to the water body, they wash their clothes over there, they bath also over there, they also bath their animals over there, they also give a bath to their animals over there. Everything happens in that water only. Okay, everything happens in that water only. So obviously due to the soap, when we are washing or when people bath or they make their animals bath, they use lots of soaps and detergents. So all of that also causes, those are also having chemicals, isn't it children? Those are also having chemicals. So the soap and the detergent get mixed in the water body, making the water dirty. Again there is, now what are the effects of water pollution? So we have learned about water pollution from all this time, that what are the causes of water pollution. Now first of all, what are the effects of water pollution? Now you see, when these kind of chemicals get mixed in the water body, but again you will see that in the villages the drinking water also comes from that water body only. I know, yes, I know you all are feeling, already hearing about it, you all are feeling dirty, but that's the truth. They take the drinking water also from there. They take the drinking water also from that water body only, where they are going and having a bath, they are washing the clothes, they are washing their animals also. Everything happens over there only. And again the drinking water also comes from there. Now children, there are so much of chemicals that have added into that water, that have mixed up into that water. There is soap, there is detergent. So what happens is, the people after they drink that water, they fall sick. First of all, some of the waterborne diseases. Now what do we mean by waterborne diseases? Waterborne diseases means those diseases that are caused by water, that are caused due to drinking of dirty water. Like cholera is there, dysentery is something that we all know about, and even we have typhoid. Now you might be thinking that why typhoid? It is a fever, it is a type of fever. But yes, this is also a waterborne disease. Next, what do we have? The poisonous chemicals in the water, they get mixed in the water, and so what happens? The aquatic plants and animals that are present in the water, they die, because they also take in, and like we, if we drink that dirty water, we fall sick, right? So they will also be drinking that dirty water only. They are living in that water, so obviously a lot of chemicals enters into their body and they finally die. Thirdly, what happens is, when we drink that dirty water, our internal organs get damaged over the prolonged use. Like, after, it is not that only today you drink and you will get all this kind of diseases. No doubt it will hamper. Even if you drink 1 glass of that water, I cannot even think of drinking that water, but anyway, if we even try and drink 1 glass of that water, it will affect our body, but obviously it will not show in our body, because our body has got better fighting capability than obviously the aquatic plants and the aquatic animals. But over prolonged use, generally what happens to the village people, for years and years they have been drinking that water only. They bring that water, they filter it, but you see children, what happens, you must be thinking that they might be filtering it, but the villages and all, they do not have proper filtration processes. More to that, some chemicals are there which cannot be taken away even after filtration. Even after this household filtration, or in our last topic, in our last class, we already read about that sand filter. Yes, I told you about that sand filter, the filter that was made at home by every household in the olden days. So there are some chemicals which cannot be taken away by those filters. So it is very, very important that drinking water is kept different. Drinking water, we opt for a different water body for at least the drinking water. Anyway, so when people drink that water, water which is having chemicals and soaps and detergents, it causes a lot of damage to our internal organs, and in the long run what happens is, we have organ failures. And another thing that happens, which is very, very interesting, and again which is again very twisted, I would say, that due to the bathing and washing of clothes, lots of soaps and detergents gets mixed in the water. There are also chemicals given in the farms which leads to growth of plants. We all know that the farmers, nowadays they use chemicals to grow the plants faster. So these chemicals, as I said, they get washed away and move into that and get mixed. They flow into that water body only, right? They flow into that water body only. So what happens is, due to the presence of those chemicals, a lot of aquatic plants start growing at the surface of the water. A lot of aquatic plants start growing at the surface of the water. Okay. So these plants are known as algae, ALGAE, algae. These kind of increased growth of aquatic plants is known as algae. Now on the surface of the water, since the plants, a huge amount of plants grow, so what happens is, it does not allow the aquatic animals, it covers the surface of the water. So what happens is, the oxygen from the air cannot enter the water, and as a result, the aquatic animals that are living inside the water, they are not able to take up the oxygen, and finally they die. Now children, just like us, the aquatic animals, all other animals except for the plants, all other animals, they need oxygen. So since they are not able to take up the oxygen from the air because of the presence of these kind of plants, the animals die. I will show you a picture. Now you see, this is a very famous picture where once upon a time in a river body, almost thousands of fishes were found dead. One morning, when the people went into that water body, they found thousands of fishes floating up. Floating up means the fishes and the aquatic animals, what happens is, when they die, they come up to the water surface. When they die, they don't go down, they float. They become even lighter and they float on the water surface. So this kind of picture was seen, this kind of photo, this kind of scene was seen in the early morning when a person went on a normal day to the river body, and this is what he saw, that all the fishes of the water body was dead and were floating up. You see a fish that is dead due to the growth of algae. And I was just now talking about the algae, right? Huge growth of plants on the water surface. Now on this side, on your right hand side, you can see the picture of the algae. Okay. So children, I hope you all have understood very well that why it is so very important to keep our water clean and not pollute it, right? And not pollute it under any circumstance. All right. And today what did we learn? We have learned about water pollution, the causes of water pollution, and what are the effects of water pollution as well. In our previous classes, we have learned about the water storage systems, the old age storage systems, and like we had the old age storage systems, we had the wells, then we had the tanks, we had the forts, right? And in the new age, we are having the dams, obviously, and then we have the water tanks as well. And the water purification process we already read. One is that the most easiest one is to let the water settle down and all the and not touch it for a few hours, so that all the dirt particles can settle down at the bottom and we get clean water. But again, I told you that clean water is not suitable for drinking, and the drinking water is going through a three process of purification. First of all, what is done? Alum is added so that the dirt particles become heavier and they settle down, and then chlorine is added to the water so that any tiny germs that is there, that can be killed, right? That can be killed, and only after that the water is filtered and sent to us as our drinking water. And today we have covered water pollution. So children, with this we are done with this chapter. We are done with the explanation of this chapter, and the write-ups will be provided to you in your Google Classroom. So thank you children, and do not forget to read your chapter. Thank you and have a great day ahead.